Game 2, let's just quickly show the map. I'm actually looking at the wrong thing. Here we go, so Chupung-Ryeong, of course, show the results as well. Yeti does have the win. Old Man Slum losing that first game. Let's have a quick look at the players. Once again, they don't have any stats yet, that'll change for week 2 onwards. That's going to be quite good when we go on from week 2 onwards. And finally, the map stats. Now, once again, this is actually the polar opposite in the tournaments I've hosted so far. Zerg are actually struggling on this map quite a lot versus Protoss. Of course, a really good ZVP win the other day from one of the players. I'm not going to spoil it, but do watch the game if you want to see a really nicely played ZVP on this map. He pretty much outclassed the Protoss player, and it was really, really impressive to watch. So yeah, let's quickly load up the next replay, and then we can go from there. Okay, so let's bring it up to the game screen again, and then we can get going. It's actually a really cool map to play. Like I understand that maybe it was a little bit imbalanced in the pro days, but to be honest, that doesn't really affect the people playing in this tour. Like, as much as I like to admit players are really good, like quite genuinely, there's not really any any major thing. Looks like the map name doesn't actually fit in the overlay, so that's a bit of an oversight by me. But here we go. Let's get going into the second game. Net Wars up with a 1-0 lead. Can Zero continue it on, or will BigPapa actually pull his way back into the series for SK Bravo? Let's find out. Okay, so starting us off this time, in the bottom left 7 o'clock position, we do have Net Wars 0, the Yellow Zerg. And spawning us in the top right position, 2 o'clock, we do have SK's BigPapa, the Teal Protoss. Yeah, just making sure I've got the right colours and the right players, of course. That's I need to make sure I hide the top overlay when I switch themes, but there we go. Looks like we're going to have the Overlord, of course, going out in the right pattern. This is a 2-player map, so should be able to find his opponent pretty quickly. It looks like we don't have anything too crazy yet coming out for Zero. It looks like he's just going to be going for a 12 hatch, which can be quite risky on this map, of course. This map is quite famously known as being the map you can proxy a gateway or forge there and really put on the hurt. This is a very good map for cannon rushing, by the way, so this should be quite a fun match. I'm not sure how much Zero actually practiced for this game. I see he's turned up in the chat, but hopefully he put in some decent practice on the map. I know he does like playing on different maps like I do, and he did put Sparkle and I believe Third World in his tournament. I think he's changed his mind on Sparkle because there was a couple of complainers, but you know what? We should always see some good maps. One of the greatest things about Brood War is the fact there's been so many good maps over the years, and they've all been so fantastic, and it's good to see the game evolve just by different maps, really. The drone actually pulling away at very low health, but because Papa is going to chase this down, it will let Zero get his hatchery up. That's a fairly important moment in the game. We have a nice wall coming up by BigPapa as well, so BigPapa's actually practiced how to play this. Obviously, it's not easy to practice this kind of map. It's not on ladder or anything like that. Did the probe actually get the drone? No, it didn't. The drone must be very low on health, though. Here we go. It's actually on 14. Looks like he's going to try and go in for it again. But Zero doing a really good job actually blocking the probe and killing it. So really nice pickup there by Zero. That's a really nice little advantage. Protoss is going to have to send another probe if they want to properly actually scout this out. If they don't send another probe, it can be incredibly risky. Now, weirdly, BigPapa's actually gone for Forge, Gateway, Nexus, completely foregoing a cannon. He does know the spawning pool isn't finished, But going for the gateway before the Nexus isn't the most optimal play. He's not even building a Zealot right now, so kind of interested in this opening. I'm not really sure why he's doing it, but I'm going to say he has a grand plan. He's just making sure he's got that wall up. Very kind of hard to block this with anything else. One thing I do like is I prefer this to the Protoss wall we saw the other day, which had the forge there, because what happened was his units couldn't get out of his base. That was a bit of a pain, but yeah, it's just one of those things. There's not really too much going on. Looks like we're going to have a very quick third hatchery and third base coming up by Zero in the bottom right position. And some Zerglings going to move out onto the map, see if they can get the probe. Or can he actually trap the probe again? If he can get this probe, this would be a great pickup, blocking even more scouting, but it looks like it's a little bit too late to block it going up the ramp. Here we go, nice Zergling micro by Zero here, actually. I know that Zero, just based on sort of notoriety, Zero looks to be the, I would say the favored player in this matchup. Zero is an incredibly good Zerg player from Poland, so not too sure on SK's BigPapa. Should be interesting to see how, basically to change that I need to actually go out to the main menu and change my settings. Let me just see if I can do it in here. Here we go. There we go, I can turn that off. Sorry about that, I didn't realise I could actually turn it off. I've been struggling with it for ages, like going, can you please go away? But thank you, Hermu, for actually telling me how to turn that off. And that should stop now. So what is BigPapa going to do from here? He doesn't have a Cybernetics core yet, interestingly. This is a very, very strange build by BigPapa. He's not going into any upgrades in his forge. He's not even constantly building from his gateway even. Here we go, the core is finally going up. But is he going to actually be defended, or is he going to be able to defend this? Looks like a probe going out. The perfect time will spot this coming, but there is absolutely no defense back here. The Zealots are going to be pulled away from the wall, but that means the Zerglings hiding here are actually going to be able to go in and do some damage. So really nicely thought out by Zero. It forces the Zealots out of position to defend. Now, is speed finished? Looks like it may be. Yeah, so speed's finished. He's actually going to try and move in from the front. There's actually not too much defending, just two cannons. Nothing is blocking the ramp right now. It looks like he's focusing on macro a little bit. He seems to be sending his drones just to make sure he builds his buildings. Of course, if this attack doesn't work, then he will be quite far behind. We do actually see a cannon now coming in to defend, so maybe Zero is doing a little bit better. Not actually thinking, here we go, the Zerglings try and move in, pull back immediately. Looks like we got a TTT. Yeah, what attack? There's actually no attack. I thought there would be. But Zero just being a little bit sneaky with the Zerglings, just hiding them outside of the bases. I must admit, it's not as funny as the time when there was a PvT being casted. And I don't know what the guy's name is, but the main guy from OGN, who used to wear the glasses and sit in the middle. Basically, one of the things that always amazed me was there was a time where he mistook an observer for an arbiter, and before the observer showed the observer, you just heard him shout "Recall!" like for like 5 seconds, and it was nothing, and he just starts laughing because he realized he screwed up. But yeah, pretty standard game here. In the end, from BigPapa, he's moving into that fairly normal PvC sort of mid game. Add the extra gateways, have lots of zealots, add +1. And add the Stargate for the Corsairs. The good thing is for Zero, he's actually going to scout all of this, so Zero should be feeling pretty good about this. He sees the Citadel as well, so he knows the Templar are going to be a threat at some point. Could be some DTs. Here we go, looks like we actually have the Zealots moving out on the map. I can't help but think that +1 is very late. I think +1 should be nearly done by now normally. I'm obviously not a PPZ expert. I am a Terran main, so if I do miscall a few things, do forgive me. And apparently I pressed the button that allows me to see the custom games wins and losses of, I guess, both the players. I hope that hasn't spoiled anything. Here we go, looks like the Zealots moving in. Just about enough to defend here by Zero. Is adding a sunken colony as well. And BigPapa may lose his Corsair. Can he pull it away? He loses his first Corsair even. Now, of course, that doesn't mean anything after the last game we had with Yeti. But given the fact that SK Papa isn't really producing well at the moment. I have a feeling that Zero may be in a pretty dominating position moving forward. He's even on supply with the Protoss. The Corsair threat has been neutralized by now. And here we go, we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hatcheries up for Zero Lair, getting Overlord speed, just making sure he is defended against the Corsairs. This poor Overlord doesn't really have much chance. Just one of the really annoying things about being a slow Overlord. Looks like the Corsair nearly actually got outranged, but that Overlord has done his duty for the Swarm. He's seen absolutely everything that's going on. He doesn't need to see anything else. Zero doing a really good job macroing up. Does he actually have an evolution chamber? I don't think he does, so no upgrade yet for Zero. Oh yes he does, sorry, my bad. I've just turned off Zero's thing. Zero losing that Overlord actually supply blocks him. He's getting +1 attack though. He's going to move out on the map with some Zerglings, just scout around for the Protoss bases and everything. And here we go, the Corsair moving around, gonna see if it can pick off any more Overlords, but no, I don't actually think there's an Overlord left on the map. There is one, but there's Zerglings absolutely everywhere. Really nice map vision here by Zero, just making sure he doesn't miss anything. Now, the only thing he could do is move this Ling to here, and that would give him pretty much perfect vision. He sees, with those 2 scouting Zerglings though, the Zealot force is actually moving out on the map. Does he have enough units to defend it? +1 is now finished, and +1 Zealots are very, very strong, even against high Hydralisk numbers. Of course, Templar with Storm do need to come into effect at some point, but here we go. It looks like BigPapa's actually going to go around the Hydralisk army, going to scout this 4th base, but there's Hydralisk at the other base as well. Really nicely played. Looks like he's actually going to leave some Zealots there, but they're not going to be long for this world. Will he get the hatchery though? It's going to be close. Actually, perhaps it's not going to be that close at all. Here we go. Zealots moving in to the 3rd base as well. It looks like they've got a couple of the Hydralisks. Really nice drone drill though, and a really, really nice active defense here by Zero, completely nullifying that Zealot threat. I don't even think he lost a drone in that engagement. And here we go, this is the time when Zero is thinking about going for a counterattack. There's no Templar tech in play, only 2 cannons are currently finished. Does he actually have a Templar Archives? Yes, he does, but no Storm and no High Templar yet, so they won't have any energy. Look at the amount of cannons that BigPapa's adding on though. He is playing tower defense here, he just wants to survive. He wants to take this later on into the game, and Zero does not want to let him do that. I don't know how the cannons were shooting that far, but that looks like range isn't quite done for the Hydralisk. Here's another big force of Zealots though. They're going to surround this meager force of Hydralisk. The Hydralisk cannot run. And there we go, 4 of them do get away, but the Zealots can easily chase those down. And even though there are Corsairs out on the map, there's actually an Overlord here just seeing everything it wants to. Zero is going to be, he's added his 6th hatchery now at least, 7th even. And here we go, we've got Lurker Aspect is on the way. That hatchery is lower than, well, just over half health, so we could actually see that get taken out at some point. We do have 2, 4, 5 gateways so far for the Protoss player. We do finally have some Storm tech available with the Storms on these High Templar. Actually, did he forget Storm? He did. This could be cutting fine. This could be a very, very dodgy defense here, but here we go. Looks like we've got some High Templar on the high ground as well. Really nice positioning. Gonna allow him to blanket some Storms down onto this main force, and some DTs out here as well. Is there a single Overlord with the army? There is, and here we go. A lot of Lurkers are actually morphing in, and this is going to be a very, very hard engagement for Papa to take. I think Zero may actually be able to win here. Looks like we've got some Zealots hanging off to the side, perhaps double checking that there's nothing coming up here. Would have been better to hold them on the high ground. And here we go, some DTs are out. He's going to scout absolutely everything, knows there's an Overlord there as well, and going to have to pull back straight away. Can he get the DTs away? Looks like he can. That DT on such low health. Is it going to survive? It does. And actually baiting some of the Hydralisks into the cannons. Really nice use of his APM there with his units. Just pulling those poor Hydralisks back. They didn't really know what hit them, but Zero is going to need to be very, very careful if he does want to engage. There is a lot of Storms there. It looks like Zero is going to go into Hive, adding a secondary evolution chamber. +2 attack is on the way. 3rd gas is mining. Fourth gas is going to be mining in just a second. There we go. And with a lot of lurkers, it looks like Zero is just going to try and starve out his opponent, but he... Oh, wow. Actually morphing 2 lurkers at the third base, or possible third base of BigPapa. Going to take those lurkers down immediately with the DTs. That poor lurker didn't burrow. I guess Zero didn't actually realize what was going on, but here we go. A lot of Hydrals moving over with the Overlord. He doesn't want to let these DTs get out on the map. And where is this probe going? This probe looks like it's actually going to go and add some cannons here. He does have the money for it. Where his macro has slipped up on unit production, his supply may be further behind, but he will be able to build a lot of cannons, and those poor DTs are running into a fight they cannot win. He pulls them back at the last possible second, but 2 of them do go down, and Zero is just absolutely dominating this game. I don't know how BigPapa is going to hold on. Are we going to see a big drop from Zero? How is he going to break in and kill the Protoss player? He does eventually need to try and push in, but I mean, he is just going to take the map for now. He's adding a 5th base, he's adding his hive, he's getting a 2-1, so all his upgrades are going to come into effect as well. Looks like the Zealots have found another little group of Hydras, so they will be able to take this down. These are 1-1 Zealots. Why didn't he attack? I am so confused as to why he didn't attack. Their cannons are going up, as I suspected. But that is very, very strange. Using a lot of storms when he could have killed them with the Zealots a little bit quicker. Seems a bit of a weird decision, but BigPapa's trying his best. He's against one of the best Zerg players in Poland, so it's very, very difficult for him to play this game like this. And he is completely in the dark. If you look at his vision, you can see that even with Corsairs, he has no map vision. He is completely locked away in his base, and he's got nowhere he can actually break out. Oh, and weirdly, there's actually a lurker on the high ground, and it nearly killed one of the Templar, so a bit unfortunate by him. And look at this huge force by Zero now. 2-1 upgrade should be nearly done soon. This should be working on 3-1 when that evolution chamber starts up again. But I think Zero has had enough waiting around. I think he's about to push in. Here we go. I wondered what that noise was. It was actually Corsairs trying to move out on the map. They're going to scout this 5th base. And it looks like we have an engagement over here on the left. Possibly not. Pretty static game from both players right now. BigPapa up to 4k minerals off of just 2 bases. He's not really known what to really spend his money on. He's actually adding on a lot of Reavers now. This is a very important choice. It actually means he can break up this ramp. Without Reavers, it's going to be really difficult. But strangely, he's gone for +1. Oh, wait, he went for 1-1, didn't he? Reavers just don't seem to get attack upgrades. I guess it'd be broken if they did. Like, Reavers would be absolutely insane. And just having a sort of a look around for anything that could be happening. It looks like the Corsairs just trying to scout everything. I'm always surprised that BigPapa hasn't actually GG'd out, although he does know his team is 1-0 down. He wants to stay in as long as possible. He wants to try and sort of wear down his opponents just in case Zero wants to play in the ace match as well. And BigPapa knows, unfortunately, that it's going to take a miracle for him to come back in this situation. All of his units are completely stuck in his main. Cannons absolutely everywhere. And for some reason I thought this was Zero's units, but like, he can't expand anywhere. He can't do anything. And it's kind of sad to watch a poor Protoss player suffer like this, but here we go. Looks like we have a Dragoon trying to move out, trying to do a little bit of damage, going to run straight into these 2-1 lurkers. Not pulled back either, so going to go down straight away. And I think it's only a matter of time before Papa actually GG's out of this game. He's transferring his remaining probes over to his natural. The probe's actually doing a weird ring around the Rosie on the gateway there. Bit of a weird bit of pathing on this map I've seen before. And I mean, with Reavers, he can hold on. It's going to be increasingly difficult for Zero to actually push in. Wait, is this bugged? Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think so. Zero. Is this how the game went? I mean, the thing is, his APM is going to be low purely because he can't really do anything right now. He's just trying to build up an army. Weirdly, he's not added any extra gateways on though. He's added 2 robos, but I'm not sure that's really going to help. I don't know, it looks like BigPapa just doesn't know what to do. I'm actually going to check something. Just because I want to see... Okay. So, it looks like there's... It looks like we may see something happening very soon. I don't want to spoil anything. I think Zero knows that this is probably how the game actually went. Zero, oh here we go, looks like we're going to have a push in. Zero's finally thought, I actually want to push, I'm getting kind of bored. It's been 10 minutes of not really much happening. And he's going to send in some Hydralisks. Looks like the Corsairs are moving out, trying to take out the Overlord. Going to make it a little bit harder for him to push in. But Zero getting a nice trade there. He does have 2-1 on his Hydralisk. Is there 3-1 coming? That's right, there is 2-2, but no 3-2. Interestingly, a 3rd evolution chamber, nothing upgrading in there. You know what? Maybe it is bugged. Zero went to eat dinner. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. Both of them are building units, just not very often. But I think this could be the death knell for our Protoss player. Zero pushing in with his mighty force of Hydralisks. Going up a small ramp with Storm isn't the best of engagements, but he doesn't really care. He has 10k minerals. He has 4k gas. And I don't think no matter what he does, he's still going to win. And I feel kind of bad for Papa, but Zero is going to take this 2-0 for Net Wars. And this could be a very quick series. Unless I think it's Sad Old Man is up in the 3rd game, and he's going to be against Radley. Unless Sad Old Man can do something, SK Bravo could actually lose a very, very quick series. Look at all the units are just completely stuck. Surely it must be bugged. He's not added any Scarabs on, right? Like, I don't know, Zero. This has to be bugged, right? I can't believe that this isn't bugged. Okay, so BigPapa isn't building... Did they both go AFK or something? Yeah, you know what? This is 100% bugged. I'm gonna fast forward the rest of this, because... apparently there's another, like, 10 minutes of this, or something. Oh no, another 2 minutes. Here we go. Looks like Zero is going to move some units around. I do apologize for skipping through to the end of this game. It was a bugged replay. Not really too much I can do about that. But yeah, there we go. Looks like Zero tries to push in and actually fails. But we should see Sad Old Man quit, BigPapa even, quitting relatively soon. Zero hasn't macroed for ages. GG. I don't know what the actual game looks like, but that's that bugged replay, and that will allow Zero to take the series, or take the set up to 2-0 for Net Wars. Oh my god, could you imagine if Protoss won, and I just didn't see it? That's kind of a funny game. Yeah, Zero does win that for his team. And that's actually going to take us to the next game. Let's actually just bring up the results just to catch up with what's going on in the set. I can't believe I ended up with a bugged replay, and I've just been sat there watching it for like 20 minutes. I don't know what the hell happened, but there wasn't really too much I could do. But as you can see,